Identical twins that own pets. What was your pet's reaction when they saw your twin? My dog can clearly tell when it's not me. But when I'm not there, my brother can act as a temporary replacement. He's a Velcro dog and has a hierarchy of people he attaches to. I'm an identical twin and I've never thought of this, haha. Now I wonder if my dogs have ever gotten confused and I just didn't notice it. One thing I noticed is they will beg from her way more often than they beg from me. I wonder if they know I won't give them scraps/human food, but they think maybe she will. My mom has cats and I don't think they can tell my sister and I apart. Also of note, I don't think my 3-year-old nephew can tell my sister and I apart. I think he just believes he has one very attentive aunt. Preschoolers and identical twins are the funniest thing. It's just so barely within their range of understanding that it's a source of confident confusion. One of my students is an identical twin, and today their identical sibling came with their parent to pick them up. One of my students says, "Oh, they're the same face." Another adds, "They're double. 2 scoops." And a third, "They're the same person cut in half." Trying to explain the process in the womb. Honestly, their reaction isn't that notable. Pretty sure the differences in our sense are distinguishable enough for them to not freak out about 2 identical looking people that, or my dog is just thoroughly unimpressed by my twin, lol. I have a strange ability to distinguish identical twins, and with me, it's not scent. But then, I'm not a dog. I've lived with a set of twins for a while, and dated a twin for a while at another time. In both cases, the 2 individuals were distinctly different, even though they looked the same. I can't explain any further than that. Maybe subtle differences in the way they moved or acted. I honestly have no idea, but I never mistook one for the other. Just tested this last month with my husband and his twin. Our dog is a 2-year-old lab for the record. Doggy had met the brother once before a full year earlier, so we didn't think she would remember him. When brother arrived, my husband left the house so we could stage an entrance. We told the twin to walk in and call for doggy the way husband does. When the doorknob stated turning, I told our dog, "Oh look, husband is home." The twin walked in, called for doggy, and for a full 5 seconds doggy was so excited to see him. She was waggling and ran over to greet him, but when she sniffed him her whole demeanor changed. She knew it was not husband and instead an imposter. She got super angry and did this menacing bark. I had to step in and make sure things didn't get too heated. I think our dog was fooled for a few seconds, but she could almost always tell them apart after the first meeting. There were a few times I think she thought the twin was my husband from a distance, but never up close. Edit. Just want to add that I can also tell my husband and his brother apart by smell. In college, I knew which person was home just by walking in their apartment and taking a good whiff. I know his brother's wife can't do this, so I'm thinking I may be a reject X-man. Okay, so my cat is super skittish, doesn't like anybody, and by the time my husband and I moved into our second apartment together, she was finally cool with him. Then one day, his brother came over. He was standing in the living room with me while my husband was in the kitchen. Stella trots out, thinking oh mama and daddy are here. She comes and snuggles me on the couch and pays no never mind to brother-in-law until she sees husband in the kitchen. Suddenly, she's a statue, showing off those oh shit eyes. None of us move because we all have realized her mistake. She slowly stands up, slides down the couch like a piece of slime, and, getting as low as she can to the floor, creeps her way back into the bedroom. After which, we all laugh. Poor baby girl. I didn't see her again till bedtime. Identical twin here. This is maybe not technically a pet, but I think it's close enough. I worked at a summer horse camp during college. Some of the more spirited horses would kind of act up with people they didn't know well to see if they could get away with stupid shit. Nothing major, just like refusing to really put effort into events, stopping on trails to eat random plants constantly, etc. The barn staff rode the horses enough that they wouldn't really challenge us, since they knew we would not let them get away with that crap. Anyway, my brother came up to visit one day and we wondered the same thing as this question. He's also a good rider, so we put him on one of our more ornery horses, who normally would be a general dick to anyone who hadn't ridden her before. My brother had zero issues. Same with all of the other horses we had him ride. It was pretty great actually. We had a very young foal there at the time, probably about 3 months old. My brother and I stood on either side of him and pet him at the same time. He was so confused lol. Good times. Those were some great memories. Thanks for the question op. It was fun remembering all of the shenanigans I got up to back then. I'm not a twin, but a similar story. I was going to meet my sister, but I got to get house before she did. I've got a key, so I let myself in to wait for her. She has 2 dogs. Trigger was a rescue and had only been with my sister for a few months at this point. I had met him a few times, but he was still a little shy with me. I walked in and started petting them both, and I was a little surprised how excited Trigger was to see me. Then suddenly, he backed away from me and started barking. He wouldn't let me touch him. I'm pretty sure he thought I was my sister at first, then realized I wasn't and freaked out. My sister came home right after. Trigger is still a little wary of me, like I might still be an imposter or something. Identical twin here. My dog has never acted freaked out to see my sister, and same with her dog to see me. But her dog stayed with me for a couple of weeks once when my sister was moving. About a week after I had brought him to her new place, I stopped by to say hi. He just about knocked me over because he was so happy to see me, and my sister was there too. It was like he got extra attached to me when he had stayed with me. He didn't keep greeting me like that, just that one time. My dog passed away last year, but he was always so excited to see my identical twin sister. I would always tell her that he favored her over me. He obviously knew that we were different people and had no apparent confusion about who was who. But kids, though. My sister and I both have kids, and to some degree they all did this, but especially her 1-year-old just stares at me with a super WTF look on her face. Babies definitely know who is and is not mom, but are like, why does that lady look so much like her? One of my good friends in high school had an identical twin. A lot of people couldn't tell them apart, but I always thought my friend's brother had sleepy eyes, like he had just woken up. One day I went to go pick up my friend for a school function early in the morning. I thought his brother answered the door and asked if Rich was up. He looked at me funny and said, I guess you were serious about that sleepy eyes thing. It was the one and only time that I didn't recognize my friend. That's the end of the video. Please subscribe. Stay safe everyone.